Welcome to the channel. Today we explore one of history's most dramatic engineering failures. April 26, 1986. At the Chernobyl nuclear power station in Soviet Ukraine, a routine systems test is underway. In a matter of seconds, a catastrophic power surge will trigger a series of explosions, unleashing the worst nuclear disaster in history and contaminating a continent. On that day, a sudden surge of power during a reactor systems test destroyed Unit 4. The test was meant to determine how long the plant's turbines would spin and supply power to the main circulating pumps following a loss of main electrical power. But something went terribly wrong. The surge caused a massive steam explosion that detached the 1,000-ton lid of the reactor core, followed by a second explosion that ejected fragments of fuel and hot graphite into the night sky. The Chernobyl station consisted of 4 RBMK 1000 reactors, a Soviet design fundamentally different from those in the West. This graphite-moderated pressure tube-type reactor used large graphite blocks to slow down neutrons and generate power. Water, pumped through hundreds of individual pressure tubes, served as the coolant. But this design harbored critical safety deficiencies, flaws that would prove fatal. The ill-fated test was not the first of its kind. It was a repeat of a similar test conducted the previous year, which had failed to provide the necessary results. The entire event was a consequence of a flawed reactor design being operated by personnel who were inadequately trained for the test conditions they were creating. The inherent instability of the reactor at low power was a known but unheeded risk. The disaster was triggered by 2 specific design flaws. First, the RBMK had a positive void coefficient, meaning that as cooling water turned to steam, the nuclear reaction would dangerously increase, not decrease. Second, the reactor's control rods had a fatal design. When inserted to shut down the reactor, their graphite tips initially displaced water, causing a momentary but catastrophic power surge. As operators attempted an emergency shutdown, this combination of factors caused a dramatic power spike. The sudden heat ruptured fuel-containing pressure tubes, and the resulting steam pressure blew the reactor apart. The explosions ignited numerous fires, which helped spread radioactive materials far and wide. The initial blast killed 2 workers, with a third dying of a heart attack. In the first 3 months, 28 more workers and firemen died from acute radiation poisoning. The accident caused the largest uncontrolled radioactive release ever recorded. A plume of radioactive smoke drifted across Ukraine, Belarus, Russia, and much of Europe, depositing contamination over vast areas. The official analysis pointed to a dual cause: a fundamentally flawed reactor design and operators who were not provided with the knowledge or training to handle its inherent instabilities. The RBMK 1000's positive void coefficient was a critical defect, creating a feedback loop where a loss of coolant could increase reactor power. This, combined with the control rod design flaw that created a power spike during shutdown, made a catastrophe not just possible, but under the specific test conditions, inevitable. The Chernobyl disaster forced a global reckoning in the nuclear industry. It led to major changes in safety culture and international cooperation. The World Association of Nuclear Operators was formed to create a network for sharing safety information. In the United States, the NRC expanded its research into severe accidents. And for the remaining RBMK reactors still in operation, significant safety improvements were mandated to correct the design flaws that led to the 1986 catastrophe. The legacy of Chernobyl is written in the abandoned city of Pripyat and the vast exclusion zone that surrounds the entombed reactor. It serves as a permanent, chilling reminder that complex engineering systems demand a culture of safety that anticipates and respects worst-case scenarios. The disaster fundamentally reshaped the world's approach to nuclear power, proving that the cost of ignoring design flaws and human factors can be catastrophic on a global scale. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe for more engineering history.